Okay, now for a look at the inside of the boat. Got the original seat. I use this as a pad. Had cup holders back here. Actually, they're not for cups, but they work good. This carries the balls for the mast. This is a brand new one, never been used. This is an older one that's reamed out a little bit, and this is the one that I generally use. It's perfectly fine and works good. This here is the fish finder. There's the top of the battery box. I don't have the battery in here. Let's see what else I got in here. Nope, just a couple straps and some chapstick. This is the wire that goes to the depth sounder, which goes through to here, and this is the unit for it. This is where the GPS goes, and this is where the fish finder mounts. I always call it the shallow finder because I don't need to know how deep the water is, I need to know how shallow it is. Okay, this is the hose for the bilge pump. It goes out the side, and this is the electric bilge pump, and here's the little box, and there's two switches on it. One does the lights, and the other one runs the bilge pump. And over on this side is another holder, and as you can see, the pedals are still hooked up and still inside the boat. Okay, let's go up front. Okay, let's go to here first. This has mid-boom rigging so that it's a lot more efficient. I don't use this one here anymore. What I use is this, and this allows me from any place in the boat, because it's 360-degree swivel, any place in the boat, to be able to take and do the lines. This here hook is I put it like this, and when I'm going, and if I'm sitting in the cockpit, I can simply pull this and it will absolutely take it out of the chuck. So you don't have to pull up, you don't have to pull down. All you have to do is pull on this line and it'll undo it. This here is for the motor. Goes over top of the back, sun rotted. Here is the seat that goes on the planks, and it's for sitting up in this area. Up here you can sit without the seat on the planks. You can walk on the planks. The planks make it a lot easier to maneuver around the boat because you can walk on them, and in bad weather or heavy weather it's a lot easier to take and maneuver. And they're strapped to the bars. This is the windshield. This is a Joe Murphy windshield. In fact, this one was given to me by Joe Murphy, and what it has is it has bungee cords with these hooks, and all the hooks, like I said, all the rings on the boat have been changed to stainless steel from plastic. So what you do is you just wrap that around the front, and then it turns around and you just snap that into the rings, which I'll show you here in a second. into the ring, and it holds it in place, keeps the passenger dry. Unfortunately, it doesn't keep the captain dry. He gets wet if there's any spray. There's the battery clips, and again a picture of the box. I'll show you underneath of that here in a minute. This is the strapping I've put underneath the gunnel. It holds the flares and everything else. It holds the tent, holds sleeping bag, it holds all the stuff. And there's the paddle and colored yellow banana boat life vest. Here's a hatch I've added for the front. Here's my dive flag. And there's room down inside here. Extra line. And again, this side has the same straps. Here's a anchor. And the person that sits in the middle has a comfortable seat. This is one of those West Marine seats that folds down, and you can actually have enough room to sleep in this area. This is where I just took this extra mat from, and this here is an anchor, some flotation, and type of stuff in here. This just goes over this as a filler. Then this just tips up. I'm not going to break it in half right now to do it. I'll just take and put it in here like this. And that is basically the inside. There's the pedals. Now, let me get to this other side. Now, what happens is that when you're sitting in the seat, you just hold on to this, and this squares the rudder, and you move it forward and backwards, and it easily steers the boat. And it's a lot nicer steering here. Now, if you notice, up here, there's another pindle, and that is for, you can take this handle out of here. You put a round turn in this continuous line. And this continuous line is your secondary steering. And it goes all the way up around the front and back to the other side. So any place you're sitting on the boat, you can grab this line and you can steer the boat. What I do is put a couple of wraps around a bight in the line and hook it into the steering here at this point, and I can put my seat on the bench there, and then I could simply steer the boat from the front cockpit real easy. It's even easier if you're sitting in the rear cockpit. These here are stoppers, line stoppers. So if you want to run extra lines to anything, you got one on both sides, and it'll take and I used it for a preventer and also for a spinnaker to hold a big sail. I tried out one time on there, and it worked real good. So that's what the steering deal is. Okay, now if I can get under here is another hatch. Let me get on this other side. If you go underneath this hatch here and you pop it off, you can see that there's a bilge pump down in there. And that's the electric one. You also still have the manual one. With the handle here that is here, and that is the one you can just jag back and forth and it'll take and empty the boat. Okay, so here's another look at the inside, the front. Here's a shot of the new tramps. Here's the mainsail. As you can see, it's in really good shape. And let me see if I can show you. Here it is. This is with the mid-boom joint. This is where you clip off to the mid-boom steering, and this is where the two-point locks are. There's the roller furling and the front lights. I forgot to show you that. There are lights on the front and lights on the back. Now, this here jumble is the stays and the jib. Now, the jib is worn. As I put in my article on selling it, this is the cover. It's getting to the point of coming off. It's serviceable, but should be something that should be considered to be replaced because it just really is worn. It gets a lot of use. All the sheets and all the shrouds have been covered with this plastic and protectors so that the wire's all good and the protectors are all good, and it makes it a lot nicer. No chafe. You don't get any little snags snagging you when you're trying to sail the boat or anything else to ruin your day. So that's all in good shape. I don't know what else to show you here. That's just about it. Like I said, this is scratches that are in it. It's been used. Of course, you see there's no scratches on very few scratches on the inside. They're all on the outside where it's been up against docks, other boats, landings, and the like. The Akas are in really good shape. It's only the Amas that have the scratches, real big, or any type of scratchings in it. And a lot of this is just dirt, washes right off. Most of the time you can't even see the scratches because of if you get it cleaned off, it's fine. Well, that's about it. This here is the top, and again, here's this crack. Do not let your grandchildren play with this while you're out sailing. It is inevitable that they're going to find a way to break something. Again, this can be fire heated and glued in place, and a few pieces of stainless clip wire on the bottom side, and it'll fix and melt right back together into one piece. But as far as I know, that's the only damage to the boat. Okay, thanks a lot.